Hello, I'm Ken, a working dad living in China, and this is my reality. 75% of the time, I work remotely from my home in Changsha, but the other 25%, I have to live and work in Shanghai. That means I need to commute between these two cities, and when I'm in Shanghai, I have to pay rent on top of my Changsha mortgage. It's not the life I planned, but it's the choice I made for my family. Today, I wanted to show you what this two-city life is really like, and why I choose to live this way. Yesterday, I packed everything I'll need in Shanghai, including a thin quilt for this time of year. It's 6:30 in the morning back home in Changsha. I'm already up and on my way to the high-speed rail station. My wife got up even earlier to make me a small bag of hot dumplings for the trip. I had actually bought some bread for breakfast, but my wife said it's better to eat something hot first thing in the morning. I can save the bread for later if I can't find a restaurant in time. I ordered a taxi via the A-Map app, and it arrived within a minute. My wife walked out of the apartment with me. I didn't expect the taxi to arrive so quickly. My wife saw me off to the car. I was probably in such a rush that I even forgot to say goodbye to her. But it's okay. I'll stay in touch with her by phone during my trip. As the apartment blocks pass by the window, the early morning feels really quiet and peaceful. I don't take a taxi all the way to the station. It's just too far. Instead, I get off at a nearby subway stop and take the metro the rest of the way. High-speed rail stations in China are usually outside the city center, so it's normal to spend 1 to 2 hours getting there. I only spent 11 rand for this trip of about 3 kilometers. If I took a taxi the whole way, it would cost around 70 rand. From here, the subway only costs 6 rand more, and there's no traffic jam. The travel time is about the same, or even faster. Since I'm still outside the city center and it's very early, the subway is pretty empty. I'll take line 6 first, then transfer to line 2. The whole trip takes about an hour. My ticket says departure is at 8:18, so I have plenty of time. I should be arriving in Shanghai around noon. I get off at the East Renmin Road station to transfer to line 2. I have to walk quite a long way. There's no elevator here. Maybe I just went the wrong way. But it's still better to go down here than to walk somewhere else looking for another way down. My suitcase is heavy, so it's a bit difficult carrying it by hand. Some people might think this is too much trouble. So why do I put myself through this? The answer goes back to 2023. Back then, I was laid off from my previous job and struggled to find a new one. In the end, I had two offers. One was here in Changsha, office based. The upside was no cross-city travel, but the office was still far, about a 1 hour commute each way within the city. The salary was also lower, which would have left us with very little room to spare. The other was in Shanghai, roughly 1,000 kilometers away, so longer trips were unavoidable. However, it came with a partial remote work, and the salary was higher. Even after extra travel and living expenses, it was still about 20% better than the local offer. That's how I ended up with this two-city life. Now I have arrived at the Changsha South High-Speed Rail Station. This machine checks your identity, ID card, and ticket all at the same time. Only people with a valid ticket and their own ID card are allowed to enter. A few years ago, train tickets were not linked to a personal ID, so ticket scalpers would buy up large numbers of tickets and resell them at higher prices. This hurt ordinary people, especially during Chunjun, the Spring Festival travel rush. Later on, the rules changed. You can only buy tickets with your ID card. Foreigners can use their passport. Each ticket is now personal and can only be used by the buyer. so ticket scalping has basically been eliminated. The security check here has similar standards to airport security.
各位旅客，您好。乘提示，请就地上看手机，擦护好您的孩子和行李。特别提醒：左右两侧楼上下方存在夹缝，避免踩踏和贴近，防止夹伤。请抓住绿色扶手带，站在黄色方向内。
I'm now on the departure level. Next, I'll find my boarding gate and wait there.
旅客们，你们好！高96954列车已经开始检票了，请您抓紧时间到12B、13B 进站检票口，12A、13A 进站检票口。306手机客户端办理改签或移货手续。
This is my boarding gate. I still have some time, so this is the perfect chance to eat the dumplings my wife made for me. They're not piping hot anymore, but they are still nice and warm. After I finish my breakfast, boarding will start soon. I can enter either with my ID card or the QR code on the ticket app. I'm about to get on board soon. This isn't a fun trip, but I'm going to pretend it is, so my homesickness doesn't feel too strong. I get on the train. After storing my luggage, I send a message to my wife to let her know I'm on board. This is a second class seat, and the tickets cost 489 RMB. It's around 1,000 kilometers from Changsha to Shanghai, so I think the price is pretty reasonable. The seat isn't particularly wide, but it's comfortable enough. A first class seat would be roomier, but it costs more than 300 RMB extra. The train is moving so fast, and my home is getting further and further away. I have a few hours on the train, so I can get some things done. I take out my laptop and continue editing the video I was already working on. No one disturbs me here. It's the perfect time to do it. I only get to do this in my spare time between my job and family. But I really enjoy making these videos, and interacting with you in the comments gives me so much motivation to keep going. I've finished editing my video for now. I'm going to head to the front carriages to use the restroom.
有人呢，这个有人呢。
喂，刚刚拨错了。
不要在车内脱鞋，共和国铁路法和铁路安全管。
This train travels from west to east, with only 2 stops in between, Nanchang and Hangzhou. We'll be arriving soon. It's already noon, so I had some bread to fill my stomach a little, since it'll still be a while before I get to my rental place. Finally, I arrived in Shanghai at 12:19, exactly as scheduled.
假设安全，不要遗忘自己的随行物品哦。欢迎下次。
I'm neither happy nor sad to be here. What matters is that I'm a working dad with a responsibility to support my family. Shanghai is an inclusive city, as I mentioned before, and for that reason, I'm glad to be back. Now I'm heading to my temporary place. Since I don't stay here long, every time I come, I have to check in like a new tenant. This is Shanghai South Railway Station, located downtown, but I'm heading to the suburbs. I definitely can't live downtown. The rent is way too high, and it's much harder to find a place. I'm going to an apartment near Lintao Road Station in Jiading District, about 10 to 12 kilometers from my office. I'll leave the train station and enter the subway. Again, I have to carry my suitcase by hand. I'm strong enough to do this. Now I need to check in at this subway station. Wow, I couldn't get in with my QR code. The app didn't switch cities automatically. It was still using Changsha's code. Once I changed it manually, it worked. I'll take line 15 first, then transfer to line 14 at the Tongchuan Road. The whole journey takes about an hour. Now I've arrived at the Tongchuan Road, with only 5 stations left. Line 14 will also be my daily commute line during weekdays in Shanghai. Compared with the other subway lines near my office, this line is less crowded and a bit quicker. That's why I chose to live near a station on line 14. It's noon right now, so there are even fewer people. But during the weekday morning rush hour, it will be really busy. Finally, I arrive at the Lintao Road and step out of the station. This feels like a whole different world. As a part of a huge city of around 25 million people, this suburb doesn't feel isolated at all, right? I'm going to check into my temporary monthly rental. I can rent for as short as 1 month. Since I won't be here very long, I didn't get a long-term apartment. I'll stay for 1 or 2 months, maybe up to 3 months. It's about a 10-minute walk to the apartment. This will also be my daily route to work. An airplane is flying overhead. There might even be people from my hometown on it. The physical distance never feels that far. Home is always in my heart, so this journey won't be too long. The flowers are blooming. Spring has truly arrived. The temperature is around 20 Celsius degree, the most comfortable weather all year. I've reached the rental office. I contacted them before I came, so I'll check the room first, then sign the contract.
313就打过电话的。
登记一下。
不是我先看一下房吧。
现在只剩下那个房间了。
只剩那个房间了。好。
I'd better leave my luggage here and go take a look.
Oh, 302也走出去了是吧？ 上一上就这当头这一个呢哈。哦，那应该户型什么是一样的了，就是朝里面而已了，是吧？嗯。我原来住的其实都是朝那边。这东西都没问题。
I've checked the room. This one is on the other side of the hallway, facing south, and is further away from the street. It's actually much quieter than the previous rooms I stayed in. They were on the opposite side of the hallway, right next to the road, so they were noisier. I just need to make sure the room is okay. Everything else is fine for me, since I've stayed here several times already. Now I'm going to sign the contract. I show my ID card and the phone number, and the guy prepares the contract quickly for me to sign. I paid 3,550 yuan in total, 1 month's rent, 1 month's refundable deposit, 50 kilowatt hour of prepaid electricity for 60 yuan, 30 yuan property fee, and 60 yuan deposit for the electricity card and keys. Now the landlord helps me load the electricity I paid for onto the meter. He tells me that in the future, I can just come here and do it myself after topping up electricity.
这个你基本上都知道不是。
啊，对，我知道。
Then he opens the water meter cover and shows me the current reading, 299. Water is charged by the meter at 6 yuan per ton. Since I'm here alone, I usually use about 4 tons a month. Everything is finished now. This room is mine temporarily. It's my little home here in Shanghai. I'm really hungry. I'll grab a quick lunch downstairs, then head back to settle in. I ordered my favorite pickled cabbage beef fried rice from the menu, which costs 19 yuan.
吧是吧？
啊，19，把门头也给我拍上，别这花都。
Back to the room, I begin to set up my tiny home. I put the sheet on the bed first. Then I opened the package I bought online, which includes a small trash can, 20 hangers, and a pillow. Every time I come here, I have to buy these things because I have nowhere to store them, but they are not expensive either. These 3 items cost me 23 yuan with free door-to-door delivery within 1 hour. I put them where they belong. Then I start hanging up my clothes, all my t-shirts, pants, and long-sleeve shirts. Next, I set up the bathroom. First, I clean the towel rack and put the towels on it. Then I place all my small daily items on the small countertop, my toothbrush, toothpaste, body wash, shampoo, facial cleanser, and so on. After that, I tidy up the desk. I clean it first. Then put my power strip and laptop on it. I actually left the quilt I bought here out on the rooftop to air in the sun for a while. Now it's time to put the quilt inside its cover. This relatively thick quilt was also bought online via same-day delivery service. It arrived in just 1 hour and cost me 28 yuan including delivery. I put it against the wall just in case it gets cold at night. Now I put all my other clothes into the cabinet. Underwear and socks go in the drawer below. Once everything is taken out of my suitcase, I put the suitcase in the corner. Now let's take a look. Does it look comfortable? This small, simple room reminds me of my old days in Guangzhou. when I rented a room there for about 8 years and worked hard to build a life. Although my life now, especially in Changsha, is much better than back then, I never forget where I came from. Outside this window is another neighborhood. Even though it looks so close, this apartment doesn't belong to that community. This is my first day back at the office after 2 or 3 months working remotely in Changsha. I left earlier than usual. Every first day back feels fresh to me. I like to see what's new in Shanghai. Living in such a big city somehow makes me feel like I'm keeping up with the times. This is Jing'an Street, one of Shanghai's core areas. I'll exit the station and will walk to the office. The walk from the station to my office takes about 15 minutes. My total one-way commute is around 1 hour. Along the way, there are plenty of office buildings and luxury shops. I'm almost at my office. I need to clean my desk a little since I haven't been here in a long time. We usually work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., but I arrived around 8:20 a.m. today. I'm a software engineer and I've been with this company for almost 3 years. Work-life balance is generally pretty good, but the long commute in Shanghai is a struggle for everyone. There are very few residential places in this central district, and the prices are extremely high. The same kind of apartment I rent in the suburbs would cost 4,000 to 5,000 yuan here. I could technically afford it, but with a mortgage in Changsha and a whole family to support, it's just way too expensive and would leave very little for my family. All my other colleagues live far away too, and the total daily round trip commute averages more than 2 hours. During work, I sometimes come here to get a cup of tea. I'm not used to the coffee here. If I drink a black coffee, I can't sleep at night. The day passes quickly. In the evening, I connect with my family. I call my wife on WeChat or by phone. I also check my boys' English studies. My younger son is 9. He just finished the phonics and is now learning basic sentences.
They are reading book at the library.
Phonics is similar to Chinese pinyin, but some sounds don't exist in pinyin. Like me, I can't pronounce we well. It always sounds more or less like 我 to me. I think he's already doing better than his dad.
也许我会在校车上面掉牙齿。
Maybe I'll lose my teeth in the school bus.
My elder son is 13. He probably has a vocabulary of over 2,000 words. He has a good memory and can repeat long sentences. I think his main issue is just that he doesn't speak enough. A second language is always challenging, but also interesting.
On the school bus.
After all that, this small room goes quiet again. As a middle-aged man, I thought I'd become less emotional as I get older, but somehow it feels deeper and deeper. I just feel lonely here. But I know, as long as I keep this job, my family's life stays normal. My kids can go to school and enjoy their childhood. Everything is okay, and this is only temporary for me. We are living apart to stay together. If you are also fighting hard in life, please remember to take care of yourself. If this story resonated with you, Please consider liking and subscribing. That really helps me out. In the next video, I will share my daily routine as a working dad in Shanghai and whether I can survive on just $10 a day here. Thank you for watching. See you next time.